Hate to be a Jacksonville Jaguars.
We ain't want you.
Huh?
We don't want you. That's if you see on your team. You don't like
They said they're trying to get rid of you.
You know
already.
they don't like quarterbacks that much.
You said what?
You know they don't like quarterbacks that much.
Who?
They only got you because they have to.
Nah, Tennessee love quarterbacks.
I respect Travis all too much. And when you say that, you're usually about to say something mean about somebody. Heard there was no prenup. I don't like that. This man's about to be a MVP type candidate, I think. I think he'll be an all-pro corner. I think he'll be a very good receiver. You know, we've heard the stories of the past when they were getting together, how she called the man ugly.
That is exactly what happened. Trevor Lawrence finally said out loud what many NFL players have been whispering for months. Their frustration with Travis Hunter has little to do with his highlight plays and everything to do with the constant drama he drags into the locker room. The chatter about his wife's rumored affair only made it worse. Shifting focus away from game prep and igniting real arguments behind closed doors, with Cam involved, emotions boiled over. He wants you. We don't. You think you're that important? You love quarterbacks that much. They only keep you around because they have no choice. That was not casual trash talk. It was a harsh message that some teammates question Hunter's value to the roster entirely. Now the tension is out in the open, and Lawrence has had enough. He is making it clear that Hunter's behavior is tearing apart the team's chemistry. What should have been a confident Jaguars locker room now feels like a powder keg ready to blow. Lawrence's comments shined a spotlight on why veterans have lost patience with Hunter. The hype of a once-in-a-generation two-way star has turned into a constant distraction, a sideshow stealing energy from the season. Veterans are convinced that Hunter's celebrity status is poisoning their focus and draining morale during a year when Jacksonville needs unity most. And here is the twist. Lawrence, who is usually measured and diplomatic, suddenly changed his tone. In a July training camp interview, he delivered what many heard as a pointed shot at Hunter. The issue, he hinted, was not about ability, it was about dedication.
Selfishly, yeah, I definitely want him on offense more. It's almost like, do you want to come catch touchdowns, or you want to maybe break up a pass or two a game? Like, you know, that's the decision.
His tone made it painfully clear this was not about play calls or strategy. It was about loyalty and priorities. At first, Trevor Lawrence could not stop praising Travis Hunter. His words were glowing, full of encouragement. But as the season dragged on and the chaos piled higher, that tone shifted. Lawrence's language grew sharper, more cutting, and NFL insiders know exactly what that means. When a veteran quarterback starts publicly questioning a teammate's focus and dismaying, it signals problems that have already taken root. Behind closed doors, Lawrence stepping up and practically calling out Hunter's split attention in public is not normal quarterback behavior. It is a warning shot. That kind of frustration does not surface unless the locker room tension has already reached a boiling point. Things became even clearer when Lawrence joined the Pardon My Take podcast and revealed his practice strategy. For handling Hunter's so-called two-way grind, he admitted, flat out, that he targets Hunter during defensive drills. Lawrence tried to frame it as lighthearted competition, but insiders caught the subtext. The hidden message was simple. Hunter, he needs to choose a lane and stop stretching himself too thin, and it is not just Lawrence. Across the league, veteran players are raising eyebrows at Hunter's obsession with playing both sides of the ball, calling it a rookie's naive misunderstanding of how brutal the NFL really is. But what irritates established players the most is not his on-field ambition. It is the circus outside of it. Instead of football being the headline, it is Hunter's scandals, rumors, rocky relationships, and constant social media drama. All of it drags the Jaguars into a spotlight no true contender wants. Lawrence still tries to be diplomatic at times, calling Hunter one of the hardest working guys we have. But the tone behind those compliments tells a different story. Beneath the polite words, the message is clear. The team sees the cracks, and patience is wearing thin. Lawrence tried to keep his comments professional, but one subtle qualifier gave him away. He admitted, learning to systems is a lot on a rookie and tough to master. In other words, the clock is ticking on Travis Hunter.
It just runs around all day, very explosive. It's another system he's learning, you know, it's 2 years in, 2 systems, and just been impressed by how.
For anyone who knows NFL speed, that was not just concern, it was a polite warning. Translation: even while keeping his image polished for the cameras. Lawrence's repeated nudges about wanting Hunter to pick a side sound less like encouragement and more like frustration bleeding through. And when he followed his "Hunter can handle it" remark with quick praise for Hunter's conditioning, it felt more like wishful thinking than genuine confidence. The fire only spreads faster when Hunter leans into the media circus and his social spotlight. Their custom handshake, once hyped as a fun team bonding moment, has now become a target for fan backlash. Critics blast it as proof that Hunter's priorities are misplaced, playing for attention instead of staying focused. Behind the scenes, veterans are shaking their heads. They say Hunter just does not get it, that the NFL is an entirely different beast than college, and his antics show he has not learned to read the room. Lawrence even admitted he let Hunter take charge of their handshake during an Adidas shoot, trying to play the supportive teammate. But that confession hinted at something deeper, quarterback quietly questioning his rookie's mindset. When Lawrence called Hunter a big personality, that was not praise. That is, the coded language veterans use when dealing with teammates, who are difficult to manage. Every positive comment from Lawrence drips with tension, and the cracks in their supposed chemistry are starting to show. Lawrence keeps stressing how much extra work and constant communication it takes just to stay aligned with Travis Hunter, and that is a glaring red flag. In NFL talk, it means he is frustrated. Instead of having a teammate who fits smoothly into the system, Lawrence is stuck constantly adjusting, bending, and reworking things just to cover for Hunter's chaotic approach hand that drains a locker room fast. What really stood out was Lawrence's comparison of Dyami Brown to Hunter, calling Brown the NFL's version of Travis Hunter because of his versatility. Sounds like a compliment, right? But look closer. It was a compliment with a sting. Lawrence compared Hunter to a player with similar skills, but none of the baggage. Brown brought the talent without the circus, unlike Hunter, who was drowning in drama and headlines. And now, the personal chaos was overshadowing everything. With Hunter's scandals piling up, Lawrence found himself stuck in the middle, trying to defend a gifted rookie while also protecting a locker room culture that veterans swore was the foundation of winning. This Lawrence-Hunter clash was bigger than two teammates. It was pulling back the curtain on Jacksonville's identity crisis. Old-school vets preached sacrifice, discipline, and team-first values, while the younger wave leaned into personal brands, flashy highlights, and viral moments. That cultural divide was already tense, but then came the bombshell that set everything off. Hunter's marriage scandal. Allegations that his wife, Leanna Len, cheated with another Jaguars teammate turned what should have been a focused training camp into a tabloid circus. Instead of preparing for the 2025 season, the Jaguars were knee-deep in gossip and distractions, threatening to derail a championship run. The chaos around Hunter was not just gossip anymore. It had turned into a management nightmare. The Jaguars were burning time and resources on crisis control instead of football. The spiral traced back to Hunter and Leanna's flashy May 24, 2025 wedding at the barn at Faith Farms in Athens, Tennessee. Once hyped as the fairy tale union of high school sweethearts, it had become a social media mess. Veteran players were side-eyeing the situation, questioning Hunter's judgment and whether he was mentally prepared for the NFL grind. The timing only made it worse. The wedding landed right before his rookie season, a moment when he should have been locked in on training, conditioning, and building trust with teammates. Instead, he was hosting a wedding spectacles, something vets took as proof that his priorities were off. Channing even said outright that the wedding should not have happened yet. That comment hit hard because it echoed whispers already circulating in the locker room. Too many, Hunter chose personal shine over professional responsibility. Then came the scandal that poured gasoline on the fire, cheating rumors. Talk spread that Leanna was caught in compromising situations with a Jaguars teammate. Some claimed Hunter found out through shocking DMIs, others through leaked clips. No teammate was officially named, but the whispers alone were toxic enough to poison the locker room. Suspicion is everywhere, and trust is cracking fast. To make matters worse, there is a money angle tied to the drama, too. This is not just about relationships. It is about financial strain connected to the marriage. adding another layer of tension for a team already questioning whether Hunter's off-field choices are destroying their chance at building a championship culture. Travis Hunter's decision not to sign a prenuptial agreement before marrying Liana has turned into full-blown locker room gossip. And with his massive $46.65 million rookie contract on the line, veterans are calling it reckless. To them, this was not young love. It was rookie-level naive, the kind of mistake that could wreck his career and drag the entire organization into a mess it does not need. The marriage scandal did not appear out of nowhere either. It is stacked on top of red flags veterans already noticed. Back in December 2024, during Hunter's big Heisman Trophy moment, Liana's reaction raised eyebrows. When his name was called, she stayed seated, looking low energy instead of celebratory. Critics lit her up, labeling her unsupportive or even a gold digger. And in the NFL world, optics like that matter. That Heisman night stung even more because it was supposed to be the highlight of Hunter's college career. Instead of pure celebration, vets saw the writing on the wall, an early preview of a relationship dynamic that could hold him back in the pros. And when Hunter defended her in public, instead of addressing the concerns, veteran players read that as a young star who already had his priorities upside down. Then came more drama. At a pop-up event in New York, Hunter was happily taking photos with fans while Liana sat off to the side, visibly frustrated with how much attention he was giving strangers. For vets, this only added to the pattern of dysfunction creeping into the spotlight. And let us not forget the whispers from even earlier rumors of leaked videos allegedly showing Liana in compromising situations with other men. That history laid the groundwork for the chaos now exploding around Hunter's marriage, fueling doubts about his judgment and his future in the league. Fans and analysts alike started asking the same question. Why would Travis Hunter step into his pro career, already tied to a relationship drowning in drama? To veteran players, that kind of personal decision-making screams poor judgment and proves why rookies, like him, cannot be trusted with real leadership roles on championship teams. The real breaking point arrived in July 2025. Liana Len went live on TikTok, crying on camera, and the internet exploded. Some believed she was finally feeling guilty about the cheating rumors. Others argued she was just laying the groundwork for a nasty divorce that could end up stripping Hunter of major chunks from his $46 million deal. And the timing, right in the middle of training camp. To veterans, that was unforgivable, dragging messy emotions into the most important stretch of the season. That tearful live stream made it clear Hunter's private world was no longer private. What should have been a support system turned into a public stage, with strangers dissecting every move. By choosing to broadcast such a personal breakdown, when her husband needed focus and balance, Liana only proved what older players were whispering already. Her actions were toxic to the locker room, and the fallout was severe. Hunter now had to face the drama in front of cameras when his only job should have been locking in on football. Social media was merciless. On X, formerly Twitter, reactions came in like firestorms, from mocking memes to outright character attacks. One user, who called himself Truth Seeker, wrote, "Nope, I don't feel bad for him. Travis Hunter's wife, cheating. These are the same women. Dude's hype up man. Get out of here. He's getting played." That type of public shaming does more than stint, eats away at everything around a pro athlete's career. Another cutting remark came from a user known as the Black Lamb, who said, "How can anyone feel sad for him? The whole world warned him this chick was weak. She's a stank box monster. Word is, she even hooked up with one of his Jaguars teammates. That's insane." If that was indeed the spark behind their divorce, it turned Hunter's marriage into a straight-up reality show, the very nightmare NFL executives worked to avoid. And just when the storm seemed like it could not get worse, pregnancy rumors surfaced. Multiple insiders claimed Liana might actually be carrying a child, and the alleged father was none other than a Jaguars teammate. If true, the scandal hit a whole new level of chaos, creating a poisonous triangle inside the locker room that no franchise could withstand. This was pure soap opera material, the type of drama that can derail an entire season. Instead of focusing on winning, Hunter's teammates were dragged into a circus that shredded team chemistry and stained the Jaguars' reputation. TikTok had only poured gasoline on the fire. Videos about the scandal are pulling in millions of views, with comments ranging from heartbreaking for a rookie star to this could ruin his season. Over on Reddit, the reaction has been even more brutal. On Our Adultra posts about Hunter's situation have called it horrible, with many blaming him for ignoring the warning signs about Liana's behavior. For veteran players who always preach the importance of smart personal choices, these reactions feel like confirmation. To them, Hunter's mess proves he overlooked the red flags, and now the fallout could cost him half his fortune if divorced. Rumors turn out to be true. That $46.65 million rookie contract suddenly looks shaky, all because Travis Hunter skipped the prenup. To seasoned pros, it is the kind of rookie mistake that can wreck a career and drag an entire organization into chaos with financial distractions. The internet is not holding back either. On Facebook, a post titled, "Travis Hunter goes off on wife after she cheats with his Jaguars teammate" racked up thousands of views and comments. With fans going wild over pregnancy rumors and speculation about divorce, this is exactly the circus. Veterans warned about when Hunter first came into the league, and the timing could not be worse. The Jaguars were already clawing their way back from a brutal 4-13 season in 2024. Now, instead of focusing on football, the team is caught in the middle of a tabloid soap opera starring their most hyped rookie. Hunter's situation is no longer just personal drama. It is shaking the foundation of how NFL teams are supposed to operate. Veterans who live by discipline and zero distractions are watching their locker room culture unravel right in front of them. The brotherhood is breaking, and Hunter's toxic energy is spreading through Jacksonville's roster like wildfire. Those cracks started surfacing fast. By early June 2025, at organized team activities, tension was already boiling over. A viral clip showed Hunter dancing around like he was at a party in the middle of drills, and it rubbed teammates the wrong way. Undrafted rookie wideout Cam Camper finally snapped, physically redirecting him back to the huddle. That moment told the whole story. Teammates were not just quietly judging Hunter, they were flat out tired of him. What looked like a small correction on the field was actually a massive red flag. When an undrafted rookie like Cam Camper had to step in and check a first-rounder like Travis Hunter, it revealed something deeper about the respect he was losing inside that locker room. The veterans had already stopped bothering to guide him. Normally, senior players quietly step in to correct mistakes. But with Hunter, the situation had spiraled so badly that even the rookies felt pressured to call him out. That shift was not just rare, it was a total collapse of the team's chain of command. When first-year players begin checking each other, it is proof the older guys have given up and are letting embarrassment handle the lesson. That is how damaging Hunter's attitude had become, and it was only the first glimpse of how much his presence has hurt the Jaguars' locker room. The Camper situation exposed how far Hunter's mindset is from what a championship team requires. Every veteran knows practice time is sacred. It is about effort, attention, and sharpening for battle on Sundays. So when Hunter decided to dance in the middle of a serious drill, it went beyond bad timing. It was blatant disrespect to the game. Experienced players do not accept misplaced focus, and Hunter's antics screamed immaturity. The fact that the situation became so public showed he still does not understand what survival in the NFL really demands. That viral moment was not just entertainment. It exposed a rookie who does not grasp the culture, expectations, or intensity of pro football. Inside the Jaguars camp, frustration is boiling over, and reports make that clear. Teammates are fed up with Hunter's antics. His carefree dancing during preparation was not just unprofessional, it was a glowing sign of lost priorities. To veterans who live by the belief that every minute matters, Hunter's behavior felt like disrespect to the grind. The quickness with which his actions turned into full-blown irritation inside the organization shows how little he understands. Hunter is missing the heart of NFL culture and what it takes to thrive. Football at this level rests on one law: every detail matters. Each rep and each second of practice can be the difference between victory and defeat. So when a rookie chooses to fool around, veterans see it as spitting on the foundation of winning football. The Cam Camper clash made that obvious. It was not simply one rookie checking another, It revealed Hunter had gone so far off course that even undrafted players felt the need to confront him. That is almost unheard of and shows how quickly his energy has damaged the team's environment. Fans picked up on it too, and their response was merciless. Social media roasted him, labeling Hunter a clown and warning that opponents would make him a target for his showboating. That is exactly the image veterans feared, the look of weakness. Instead of being seen as spirited, Hunter is now viewed as reckless and childish. And at the center of this storm is Trevor Lawrence. His connection with Hunter keeps getting strained under the weight of the drama. Each time Lawrence hints at needing extra communication just to stay in sync with him, it signals the quarterback is being dragged into a mess he never asked for. In a true championship-level organization, no one expects veterans to waste energy babysitting rookies. The rule is clear. Young players must adapt to the system, not force the team to adjust for them. But with Travis Hunter, that is exactly what has happened, and it is draining the Jaguars. At the beginning, Lawrence's excitement about his new target was real. After the draft, Lawrence welcomed Hunter with a big smile and an excited, "Glad you're here, man. I was hoping this would work out." At the start, it felt like nothing but positivity. But as the season unfolded and Hunter's approach to the league became obvious, Lawrence's tone began to shift. His comments started carrying hints of unease, polite warnings, and subtle digs hidden behind supportive words. Now Lawrence is in a difficult spot. As the franchise leader, he has to show unity with teammates like Hunter, yet privately, he feels the clash between Hunter's personality and the team-first mentality that champions are built on. It has left him juggling two roles, giving one message to the public while dealing with private frustrations that weigh him down. During a make-or-break year, his so-called compliments have turned into carefully coded signals. When Lawrence praises Hunter's conditioning or effort, it comes with an undertone, almost like he is disguising his real concerns. Calling him like a kid who never slows down sounded playful, but the message underneath was clear. This is not the maturity a quarterback aiming for a title expects. And when he mentioned Hunter having to handle two playbooks at once, it came across less as motivation and more as irritation, dressed up as support for a QB chasing legacy. Constantly navigating this tightrope with a rookie teammate has become an unwanted distraction that drags on the entire locker room. Lawrence's compliments may look genuine on the surface, but they are also calculated. By sticking to Hunter's fitness and energy, he sidesteps the real issues, shaky decision-making, quirky behavior, and culture clashes that veterans whisper about behind closed doors. It is his way of backing a teammate in public while avoiding the real controversies. Then came the handshake saga. What was meant to be a fun bonding gesture between Lawrence and Hunter instantly turned into evidence of the cultural gap that veterans had been warning about. Lawrence brushed it off, praising Hunter for his boldness and personality, but outside, reactions were harsh. Fans lit up social media, mocking the stunt and blasting both players for dancing instead of grinding. Comments piled up. This is why Jacksonville keeps losing. They're wasting time on gimmicks. That online storm confirmed exactly what vets had feared. Hunter's flashiness becoming a perception problem for the whole team. Even worse, Lawrence admitted he had let Hunter take charge of the handshake routine. For older teammates, that was a red flag. True leaders guide rookies, not let them set the tone for culture and image. Instead, it looked like Lawrence was bending to Hunter's style, which did not sit well with the locker room's veterans. For players who have spent years building winning standards, this moment confirmed their doubts. Hunter's style-heavy approach directly collides with the old-school formula of discipline and focus. And now, even fans are starting to question whether this team can stay on track. In the NFL, veterans pride themselves on commitment and professionalism, not viral stunts and social media skits. That is why the handshake backlash stung so deeply. What Hunter saw as harmless fun revealed a major divide between his version of team spirit and the standard veterans expect. And the fallout is not just about locker room chemistry, it is spilling into game plans. League veterans are openly wondering if Hunter can keep up his rare two-way responsibilities. Some, like Travis Kelce, have even suggested that defenses will intentionally wear him down, targeting him until his energy drains. A way that was not just empty trash talk. It was a strategy to expose him on the field. For Jacksonville's coordinators, it created a major headache. Instead of focusing strictly on improving offense and defense, they were now forced to design safety nets to protect Hunter from being targeted. Opponents could craft plays aimed at exhausting him, taking advantage of his constant position shifts and heavy conditioning load. Every extra hour spent covering up Hunter's weaknesses was an hour stolen from building a stronger team overall. And the mess did not stop there. Off the field, things were just as toxic. For many veteran players, the marriage scandal was the final straw. The endless headlines, whispers about Liana and a teammate, and the cloud of controversy hanging over the locker room stretched their patience to breaking point. Instead of rallying behind their rookie, the team found itself drowning in gossip, mistrust, and constant distractions. At this stage, it was no longer about Hunter alone. It was about a cultural meltdown that threatened to derail Jacksonville's entire championship mission. Veteran players understand one thing: winning football requires sharp focus and zero distractions. But with Hunter in the spotlight, that focus had been shredded. His string of controversies built a storm of dysfunction that many inside the locker room quietly feared was past saving. On their own, incidents like his dance at practice, the awkward handshake, even the marriage drama could have been brushed aside. But stacked together, they turned Jacksonville into a soap opera, where team chemistry, leadership, and unity took a backseat to public damage control and media spin that is poison for any championship culture. Trevor Lawrence's stance highlighted the problem. Outwardly, he still acted like a supportive quarterback, but his pointed comments and constant reminders for Hunter to stick to offense revealed his frustration. He was tired of babysitting. Instead of leading the team forward, Lawrence was left managing chaos, and that is never the job of a franchise quarterback. Veterans expect rookies to fall in line and blend in, not drag the team into distractions that force everyone else to adjust as the 2025 season approached. The real question was not whether Hunter could survive playing both ways. It was whether the Jaguars could recover from the cultural wreckage his arrival had caused. Right now, the sense of brotherhood that championship teams rely on looked shattered. And here is the frightening reality. Rebuilding that trust, communication, and unity could take years if it could be repaired at all. Hunter had not just tested Jacksonville's patience, he had tested the very identity of a franchise chasing championships. So, what is your take? Is Hunter worth all the turmoil? Or is he dragging the Jaguars into a collapse that cannot be fixed? Share your thoughts in the comments. Make sure to hit that like button, subscribe, and drop your perspective below. I'll see you in the next one.